What up, Swing Collective?
Hey guys.
Contrary to many reports out there, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I haven't kicked the bucket yet. It's
Wow.
been a
You
minute.
live.
Been a minute since I've been here. I actually just hacked this video. These guys kicked me out, but I forced my way back in.
That's it. That's it. What you see is an illusion. It's Photoshop. That's all it is.
We don't have a full foursome tonight. We got a threesome. So we got me, getting spicy, late night spicy on the Swing Collective. Izzy, Ando, and Byrd.
That's right. My man, I had to do a double take there, Ando. It's nice to see you, my guy. All right.
I'll lead it on. It just came to my mind right now. I don't know if anyone out there, any of the followers of the collective are country music fans, but one thing that's been grinding my gears all summer is that Luke Combs song, where he won 3 free passes for him and 2 of his buddies to play a round of golf. Every time I hear it, I'm like, what kind of raffle wouldn't give 4 passes?
I'm serious, man.
It pisses me off every time I hear that song. But anyways, I digress.
Well, listen, Ando, I live in Southwest Virginia, so a lot of my brethren would probably go to a raffle like that. And what you have to remember is, in addition to those 3 free passes, you also want a used 4-wheeler.
Used 4-wheeler. That's right. You did.
That's right. Dude.
So anyways, glad to be back, guys. Hoping to spend a good hour here. I think we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. Obviously, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Open kicked off today. Lots been going on. Lots been going on the past month or so since I haven't been here. I don't know if I had a chance to mention it before, but we won our flight in my club's member. I had an immaculate weekend. I haven't been able to recreate since that happened. Right. I shot 39-42 or 42-39 in back-to-back rounds. And since then, it's just been kind of off a cliff. So no consistency in the game, but
you're doing it the right way, brother. I do it the other way. I go out the meaningless rounds, and I start shooting personal bests. Getting under 85, flirting with 80. I'm going to get there, and then I go to my season-long tournament down in Richmond with the amateur league down there, and I blow up and forget how to play golf for 9 holes. So at least you're doing it the right way.
Yeah. Well, it works out because we got my member guest coming up here. Big Daddy Ando's coming up to play with me here beginning of August. So we'll get the 2 Ando boys out there. But if I play my cards just right, I can get that index up high enough to get myself a few more strokes when we go into that thing and sandbag it properly. So that's right. So that's my goal. Other than that, man, just been playing a lot of golf. Consistency has been my struggle this year. I've focused a lot on getting through the ball, and I've been able to do that well, and then starting to struggle with that here in the past week. Just kind of, I get every year, I feel like I get this kind of mid-season funk where, I want to take a little bit of time off, and usually I'll end up taking a week off or something and just let everything kind of clear the mechanism and then get back at it. So that's where I'm at as far as my golf game. Izzy, what's going on with you, buddy?
I haven't physically touched a club in probably, I'll just pull up a calendar. We'll look at it right now as a group.
Gonna make my heart hurt with this one.
Hold on. It's been over a month. It's been a month and a week since I've even touched one. And not that I haven't tried. I had to cancel 2 rounds with you, Tim. They were planned. They were locked in the chamber. Bolt was back, and then I had to cancel. I had too much. The work's just been crazy, and I was thinking about bringing my clubs here on the trip to Missouri, where I'm at now, and we're doing 12s. And by the time we get out and we get back to where the hotel is, it's 7:00. And we're just not. There's no time left in the day to play. So And then also I'd have to lug it to Nashville at the end of the month. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to play. So what I have been doing is I brought my Oculus and I've been playing VR golf.
Nice.
Which is actually really fun. And I will say that the VR putting is surprisingly realistic, minus like obviously the weight of the club, but like pacing and everything and stroke. I've been practicing my putting stroke. That's what I've been doing for a month, practicing putting stroke. So that's where my game's at. I'm actually by the time I get home and I'm back and I'm in a place where I can play a round of golf, I'll then be going to Portugal for vacation with my wife. But I am playing 2 rounds in Portugal at Praia del Rey, and I will try and film at least one of them. And that will be the first time touching a golf club in 2 months.
Wow.
So that's where I'm at.
That'll be the extended cut. No, 18 holes. Why is this a 6-hour round?
18 holes, 4 balls, 118 swings.
4 balls. Man, if I could get through 18 these days with only losing 4 balls, I'd be ecstatic. I think I should own stock in Titleist at this point with the honorary stock with the amount of money I've donated to them this summer.
I'm serious, dude.
What about you, Bird?
Man, it's hot and cold. You know, that's been, I say this every time we record together, fellas, but I went on a run there where I was in the 80s, like 5 consecutive rounds. And I'm like, okay, this is where I live now. And I don't have to worry about the blow up rounds, like the really bad blow up rounds. A lot of people that listen to us on Apple Podcast and YouTube would say, dude, 80s is a blow up round. I know, but I'm getting there. But I went to that amateur league 3 weeks ago. It was the last round we had. Shot a 97. Slipped to 29th in the points. I was 19th going in. And then immediately came home and fixed it. And actually striking the ball now with more confidence than even before that round. Something I'm doing, just kind of keep my arms in to my body, making sure that I don't get separation. And I feel good, so I can't wait to get back there and try to put it all together. I played last Sunday, and man, if I talk to you about the 14 holes that I want to talk to you about, I was 6 over for those 14 holes. And you know, again, depending on your perspective, 6 over does not sound great, but for me, it's a damn good score. Unfortunately, on top of that 6 over, I got to tell you about the 2 doubles and the 2 quads that I had, and ended up shooting 90 on the nose, man. So really, really frustrated by that. I literally have a video in the hopper on YouTube, and it's how to avoid the blow up holes. And I'm going to watch that with bated breath to see, you know, what it can tell me. And Izzy, you and I have played enough together that you know what I'm about to say is the truth. I could take it if, you know, the quad came because, you know, I piped one out of bounds and then my drop, and then I hit that one squirrely and I was all over the course. Dude, that's not what's happening. What's happening is I'm losing them chipping around the green and duffing a couple chips here and there. And then, you know, I'll duff one, I'll scull it across the green, and then I'll finally put a decent chip on it and 2-putt. But by then I'm at, you know, 8 or a 9, depending on the par 4 and par 5 I did that on. So I'm just going to choose to try to look at this glass half full and say, all right, I am going to continue to work on the chipping, which I do. I'm practicing that more than I'm practicing anything else. And I'm going to eliminate those mistakes. And then, you know, if I'm able to do that, I feel like getting below 85 and making a run at 80 is going to happen still this season. I'm just not going to come off of that. That's really, you know, if I leave this season, you know, shooting 80 to 85 consistently, I'll take it and go into the winter, you know, with plenty to work on. So it's frustrating in that respect, Ando, because I feel like the easiest shots. I play with, Izzy sometimes. I've played before. I've got a lot of people I've got to meet, just getting partnered up. And it seems like most people chip with, that's the part of their game that's nothing, man. They just make it happen, and they're, they're passable. Like, it works. And for me, that's where the anxiety of golf builds in. Man, I can rip it off the tee box now. I feel really strong with my fairway woods like I never have. But, let me miss a green and be, 18 yards to the pin. That's when my knees start knocking, like, please don't let this go sideways, which, will make it go sideways. Sometimes literally. So,
That's so funny. That's so funny you say that, because ours is the exact opposite. For some reason, off the tee, I am so lost right now. The driver is it may as well just be a hood ornament attached to my bag. But chipping and the short game for me has been where I've actually saved strokes lately, and
yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe, look, you should teach me how to get off the tee, and I'll do a chipping class when I get back.
And you've helped me with my chipping before, and what really, as if ruining your score on a hole is not bad enough. What really ticks me off is when I'll have a bad chip, sometimes followed by a bad chip, and then I will come to myself and I will really kind of try to amp up the concentration, and then I'll hit one, I won't say perfectly, but I'll hit an excellent chip that nestles up by the hole. And it's like, damn, why didn't you do that 2 shots ago? I give you a perfect example, and this is not exactly what I'm talking about. This one ended up Sunday with a par, which a lot of people listening to us would be like, okay, par's fine, move on. But get this, decent drive, piped it down the middle of the fairway, ever so slightly short, but it's like 520 yard par 5. So I probably left 20 or 30 yards on the table, maybe not that much, but 20 yards. Second shot, I'm more comfortable with my 3 hybrid than my 3 woods, just because I really wanted to break 90 instead of landing right on the number. I hit 3 hybrid with my second shot, flushed it, and I left a third shot 50 yards to the pin, line 2, hitting third shot. I'm like, all right, man, let's get a birdie here. Let's get some insurance. Next shot, not so much a chip, then a pitch, duffed it, sent it maybe 20 yards, left myself 30 to go with the fourth shot, hit that one pure, and it rolled out to 6 inches. Go up there, tap in, easy par. But, it could have been a birdie if I just would have, just bore down. So it's just dumb shit like that I've got to fix. And I will, but it sure is frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I feel your pain, man. Mine's consistency. I had similar experience last week. I had a par 5, and again, a lot of guys that are listening to this might scoff. I mean, I hit a 272-yard drive. I was pumped. 260-yard 3-wood. I'm on in 2. Yeah, make a runny eagle, make the birdie putt, and I'm like, man, that was easy. Everything felt easy, and then 7 on the next hole. Yeah, and it's like, why? I mean, I can't stay consistent. The consistency aspect, and I'm with Izzy. I mean, my short game lately, that's been the one area where I kind of, if I get within 50 yards of the green, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I am not gonna hit the ball more than 3 times here. I'm probably gonna hit it twice. I'm probably gonna hit it once now and tap it in the hole. I mean, that's the one place where I feel comfortable right now.
You got a little bit more confidence in yourself than I do. I don't know if I say I'm going to two pop it every time, but the feeling's the same. If I'm within 50 yards, I feel like I can get the ball on the green in a spot where I can put it. I'm very confident in that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I feel good about the putt. I mean, I guess that's where I am. Is I feel like if I get it on the green, I mean, right now for me, the hole looks like a basketball hoop. It looks like I'm putting into a basketball hoop. I mean, it's just kind of.
That sounds real nice.
Yeah, it's just coming easily right now.
Dude, I had a round, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Did not have a 3 putt the entire round. Everything single putt or a 2 putt all the way through. And that probably the only time I've done that, but that's the level of confidence I have over every putt now. And we got to think your man David Frost. You all remember several weeks ago he was in town. Got to meet him. Gave us a little chipping and putting clinic. Apparently, I wasn't listening on the chipping portion of that, but he came over to me, gave one thing with my front elbow, which for me is my right elbow, so I'm a lefty, and just rock the baby. And man, I've started doing that and worked on a little more confidence in my pace. I was habitually leaving things short, and now I'm taking a run at things. Y'all see when I get some of these videos uploaded, and man, there's no issue at all with these putts, and I just got to get on the damn green, and I feel like I'm just a tick off because drives are not getting me in trouble. And a lot of my irons are just, sometimes I'm on the green, sometimes I'm just off. And, if you're line 2 and you've got a chip on, man, it sounds like, Ando, I'm listening. You're like, hey, I'm going to be in for a par or bogey at worst here. That's when the circus music starts with me. Like, what am I going to do to foul this up?
Well, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth because it's 5 before I get to that part, right? I've already hit the ball out of bounds once. I've dropped one down. I might have kicked it out of bounds again. Maybe I got lucky and hit my third to that spot, but that's where my struggle's been is the consistency.
Well, that's what I meant.
Long game.
If you get where I'm at that point, and you're thinking about 2 more shots, I'm in the hole. Shit, dude. I could be just off the green. 2 shots, I might not be on the green yet.
Right,
it's ridiculous. So, but I'm gonna try to remain positive that this is the part of my game that should be the easiest to fix with practice. And already kind of landed on one thing in my sim that I've been doing wrong. So it has to do with I'm squaring my wedge to my target. And if you think about me being a left-handed golfer, I really can't understand why, if I'm squaring this up and I'm making sure I'm going back, on a decent path, why am I pulling everything to the right of target? And then just watching the Open today, which I know we'll talk about in a second. First round was today. Watching Justin Thomas on one hole have that thing opened up. For me, it would be like 11 o'clock. For you guys, it would be more like 1 o'clock. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. I've practiced that before. You got to open it up to get it going. And sure as right as rain, man, I watched him do that, and he hit it dead straight. So I'm anxious to get back out there and remember I got to open my club face up a little bit on the chips and see if that helps. I mean, it can't hurt. Might help me a little bit. We'll see.
Sure. So we've kind of danced around it a little bit. But Byrd, why don't you start us off here in a little bit of talk about the Open? I think there's a few things from before it started that I want to kind of get into and talk to you guys about, and some stuff that happened today. So go for it.
Well, I won't steal your thunder, dude, because I know what you want to talk about before, and I am here for it, and I'm fascinated. So we'll let that percolate for a minute. Around these parts in Southwest Virginia, if you guys are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or YouTube, and you know about Roanoke, Virginia, and you or someone in your life that that likes ice cream, you've probably heard of the Blue Cow. Okay, we got an ice cream shop in town called the Blue Cow. I'm mentioning this to you because you guys might not know this, but the best ice cream on the planet gets released by Blue Cow every year in the month of September, and it's called Halloween Haul, Haul, Halloween Haul. And they've got some of your favorites, man. They got your Kit Kats and your Whoppers and some Fifth Avenue, some Snickers, some Reese's, and they just pile it in that ice cream. And dude, I'm telling you, I have never ordered a scoop of ice cream that was stuffed full of so much. It is the best ice cream on earth. So whenever I think of something being stacked and packed, I think about Halloween Haul until I saw today's leaderboard after the first round of the Open.
Listen,
okay?
if they paid you for that and you haven't kicked some of that money over to your fellow members of the collective,
Blue Cow,
that sounded an awful lot like a scripted promotion, right?
Blue Cow, the Swing Collective
I've
can
been
be
there a few
sponsored.
times. It is very good. I don't know if it's quite up to the level that Tim just.
It's pretty damn special, Blue Cow. You call us, you can sponsor the collective, and I will stop saying this stuff for free. However, when I looked at the first round leaderboard, of course, I watched the tournament. There's about half a dozen tournaments a year. You guys can't see it with the camera, but my work computer is here. I've got a 47-inch monitor because I like to have everything on one. I don't like the bezels in between, kind of chopping everything up and dragging things over. I like it all here. And then right above that's my TV. And about 6 or 8 times a year, I'm sorry to my employer, but golf's got to be on Thursday and Friday. This is one of those weeks. I've been watching it. And but when I look at the leaderboard, which I got right here, I'm like, all right, let me see all the people that I'm interested in. Oh, there's he is. Oh, and there he is. Up, and there's him. Oh, he's there. Oh, there's that guy. Oh, and there's that. Okay, they're all there on the first page. I mean, what a great start, man. And if you got to watch it, Ando, I know you did a little bit. I mean, Fitzpatrick went out and posted a number. Good for him. I like watching him play. Matty's a good dude. McIlroy, was up there, and then he cooled off. Then he was back, then he cooled off, but he's still within 3 shots. That'll work okay. We got Mickelson is there in the red at 1 under. It's unbelievable. We've got I think Garcia's there. Fowler's at 2 under. Hatton is right there, and he barely missed an ace on one of the par threes. Lowry's at 1 under. Just about everybody that I'm pulling for, except one guy that I'll talk about later because I'm pretty upset that he didn't have a better round. We'll talk about him. And did I mention Mr. Number 1 in the world? I think maybe I left him out. He's a stroke off.
3 under.
He's 3 under, one shot out. So, I'm like a lot of guys that we know. I plan on, watching it on Saturday and Sunday, and a lot of times, as you guys can expect, we kind of think about what we're going to have to eat and drink around the Open. I always love, or around a golf tournament, I always love Sundays because at the Open, I think about what am I cooking for breakfast as we settle into this, man. We have
full English. You're going full English for Sunday.
I gotta go full English breakfast. Watching it. That's gonna be great. I don't know about the blood pudding.
I was gonna ask if you procured your blood pudding yet.
Probably won't do the blood pudding. I've had that before. I'm not in a hurry to have it again.
Yeah, it's
although I will be in Ireland in 10 days, and we'll talk about that probably before the end of the episode. So I gotta have a strategy with that. I know a Guinness or 2 might be drank over the course of the next 2 weeks, but they're probably not the blood pudding. I'll probably let that slide. Anyway, I hope it continues, man. If we get to Sunday and we're settling in and the leaderboard looks anything like it looks today, daggone, man, it's going to be one for the H. My man Justin Rose, I believe, is 2 under, right?
Rosie's 2 under.
Like to see him right up there at the top. So anyway, I am cautiously optimistic that we're going to have some things to watch over the next 3 days. What did you guys get? Dano, what did you get as takeaways?
I hit on a lot of the same things you saw. I mean, some of these, I think on the surface, I mean, there's some guys I've heard of. I mean, I've heard of Hao Tong Lee before. He's kind of, he pops his head up every now and then and takes a look out. He's kind of like a meerkat, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy. And then he kind of disappears for a little bit. I didn't know a lot about Jacob Skov Olesen, who's tied for the lead as well. The British Open has a tendency sometimes, I think, to bring out some of these stories and some of these guys where you're like, who the hell is that? And us being dumb Americans, you have no idea. I mean, this is a guy that won the British Amateur last year. This isn't it's not like he's some guy who's 200th in the world and kind of hacked his way into there and now he's leading the Open. We have that too. We have those guys. A guy that I'm really intrigued by, and one of my favorite things in the past 3 years, I would say, one of my favorite storylines, and I actually look forward to it and follow it every year, was what's Matthew Jordan doing today? Because when you look at British Open golf over the past 3 years, there's only 2 players that have had a scoring average more under par than Matthew Jordan, believe it or not. It's John Rahm and Xander Schauffele. Matthew Jordan, ranked 152nd in the world, is third. He finished 10th last year in the Open, finished 10th the year before. And, I think today he was, I had it down here. I think he's right up there. I think he's three under, right?
3 under, 1 stroke off.
So he's 3 under. This guy just comes out and, it was kind of one of those stories that pull at your heartstrings at Royal Liverpool because he grew up as a member there. And if you guys remember, he kind of had himself into contention there. And he might have even been leading after the third round. And then I think he kind of fell off the last day. I might have that one wrong, but I know he was up near the top. But I think that those are the stories I like about this tournament is getting a chance to become familiar with some of these guys that you haven't really heard of. And I think that one's an intriguing one because I was doing a little reading before we got on tonight. And that guy's funny because he doesn't really do diddly squat except for the British Open. He plays on the DP World Tour. I think he has a couple top tens, a bunch of missed cuts. And then every year it's like, oh, British Open, here I go. And he was talking about what the advantage he thinks was that when he went and played his 2 practice rounds, it was atrocious weather like it was today. A lot of guys that went and had their practice rounds there, it was nice weather. So he said, I got to play the course in the conditions that the course is in for when we played the actual big things. So intriguing one to follow. It'd be cool to see that guy come through on Sunday. But I'm pulling for Rory. I'm always pulling for Rory. And to watch Rory hit two fairways today, still be 1 under. If he can start hitting that thing a little straighter, watch out. We could have that boxing match you want on Sunday with Rory and Scottie. Trading blows, which I think would be a lot of fun. What do you think, Izzy?
So I didn't get to watch today, but I was looking at the leaderboards, and there's some names that are nowhere near where I think they normally would be or should be.
Oh, here he comes with Akshay Bhatia.
No, here it comes.
Look, he's only +2. He's not actually that far back. He's
only 6 shots.
I say that far back. That's 6 back from the lead, but
British Open, that 6 shots in the British Open's nothing.
Oh man, Ando, you're way off. That's a very cool tied for 70th right now. Come on, man. He's going right where he wants.
You've got some premier names that are nowhere near where they should be. I'm gonna leave out one guy because I know Ando, you want to
steal my thunder.
I'm not gonna steal it, but I'm looking at this list and I'm seeing, I'm seeing Colin Morikawa +4 for the day. Did not
fire caddy. Get that caddy out of there.
Was that the new caddy? Do you think that because didn't he get rid of the other guy? Now he's got a new one.
He's got the new one.
Who's
or is
that?
It the old new one.
Morikawa.
Oh, Morikawa, yeah. He has Billy Foster right this week on the bag. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe it could be new caddy woes, and they'll get more comfortable with each other.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I expected him to play better than that. I didn't really have an expectation for Brooks Koepka to play well. He didn't, so that didn't surprise me. But Minwoo Lee, I thought, has been playing pretty well lately, and he came out with pretty slow round 1. So those are just Cameron Young, slow round 1. But what I do want to say is, you mentioned Rory and him being -1 for the day and still within, he's tied for top 20. I said it on the last podcast when me and Byrd were talking about it. I did not expect the level of skill and ability that he displayed last week at the Scottish Open. We went into that tournament. I was like, he doesn't have it. He hasn't
Who's that?
practiced.
Rory.
He lost the fire, and then he gets back home to home turf within however many 1,000 miles, 500 miles of his home. And he's playing lights out, and I'm here for it. I'm here to see it. I'll eat my words from last week. I would love to watch him win the Open. I think that would just be incredible for storylines. I think it would be awesome And I feel like if he were to somehow win this one, I think he would win more this year. I think the win would knock him back into his normal routine, his normal drive that he's got. I think it would reinvigorate him and remind him why he does this. And I think he would be up for winning another tournament before the end of the season.
It's in his backyard. I mean, that's the coolest part. Literally, it's in his backyard.
Well, you're smart, Izzy, because after the first round not to bury Rory, because somebody on this podcast did. I'm not going to name any names. It was me who said after the first round of the Masters, he just played his way out of it. Ando is not above saying "I told you so." So smart man not to do that. Just looking at this, man, and we've mentioned so many people, but Lucas Glover had it, to 4 under at one point. He's still there at 2. Tom Kim's at 2. Brian Harmon's won this thing before. He's at 2. Westwood is up there. He had to qualify. Westwood's at 2. So it's amazing, man, to see just who is going to keep it together. Obviously, some people are not, and they're going to put it in reverse, and these things happen. But it's like, man, if just half of these dudes can keep the wheels on the wagon, it'll be fantastic.
There's a guy at 1. There's a guy at 1 who's won it before. That would be hell of a story, man. If Justin Leonard comes out of nowhere and wins the British Open, 30 years after he won it before, something like that. That'd be something.
I'm like you, man. You talk about the storyline around Jordan. To watch Rose get so close on Full Swing this year, talking about ultimately losing to Xander. I'd love to see him win it. I don't have anything at all negative to say about Justin Rose, but if I tell you about the golfers that I follow, that I'm interested in, that I root for, man, there's just no room for him on the dance card, man. I got so many others. But after watching that, I'm like, all right, I'm a sucker. Let's get him in there. Let's see him win one. So it's difficult to root against these guys.
And I'm with you. That show changed my perspective on him. I always thought he was kind of like, I don't know. I had an unfair judgment against him because I didn't know much about him. So I thought he was kind of like standoffish and arrogant. And it was the exact opposite. When you watch that show, I have a lot of respect for him. And to see him go back to back second places in 2 majors in a row, I'm with you. There's some other guys I would want to win, but if he won, I wouldn't hate it at all. I'd be happy for him.
No, it'd be great. And, one guy that's easy to root against, at least for me, is at 5 over, and that's Wyndham Clark. I'm concerned about the lockers in the locker room at Portrush. There might be a few that are inoperable in the morning once he's gone through there, and Hurricane Wyndham is hit through, but wouldn't be the first club that he's been banned from.
No.
If Portrush says you can't come back, Jack. Anyway, not too bad to root against him. Didn't expect to see him on the Ryder Cup, and after today, I think that's probably true. Speaking of the Ryder Cup, the captain was 1 over today, so he's in 46th or tied for 46th or whatever it is, not 45th, not out of the realm of possibility for him to get up there and put it pretty tight around the top 10.
I mean, he's playing himself onto the team, though. That's what's important. You get those finishes, keep getting those points.
We talked about that last week, man, and I didn't mean to take us in that way, but we talked about it at length last week. And the only thing I'm going to say as a fan that has a vested interest in the United States taking the Ryder Cup back is, hey, Cap, if you don't pick Keegan Bradley to be a player, you better convince me that you found 6 other players that could do the job. I don't see him on the list. So everybody talks about just what a difficult job it is to captain the team. And I'm sure they're right and I'm wrong. But I got to feel like with the vice captains that he has, he can make room for being a player on there. So we'll see. I think the next 3 days might I don't think he leaves Northern Ireland I'm definitely off the team. That I don't see how he could, even if he missed the cut. But I think that over the next 3 days, he could play his way to a point where it's impossible
I
not
agree.
to pick yourself.
I agree.
Yeah. And
Other
I
other
like
interesting guys there. Chris Goderup won the Scottish Open last week. He's won
him.
over.
How
He's still
about it?
kind of in the mix. I'm rooting for that guy. I thought
How
that guy
about
was
it?
pretty cool. I liked uh, man, you have a box of Kleenex when you watch him in that post match interview last week. That was something to see how he got very emotional over that, getting that win. That was cool. And Bobby Mack's right up there as well. I think he's at maybe one
Yeah.
under.
Maverick McNeely at 2 under. That cat's always hanging around.
So
That's Halloween Hall, baby. That's what I'm telling you. The leaderboard is stacked.
it's stacked. It's stacked. And
And speaking of which, let me set this for you, because I know, Ando, you will make a wager a time or two. If I would have come to you last Sunday morning and said, all right, look it, dude, it's like this. Tied for the lead is Chris Goderup and Rory McIlroy, and they're in the final pairing together. Also, Saturday, round 3, to get to that final pairing, Rory went 4 under and Goderup went even. So Rory closed 4 strokes to get in that final. Who's winning the Scottish Open, and how much money would you have lost?
it's irrelevant because I won a lot of money. So I'm not going to answer that question, because what happened is I put in a bet that included 3 guys that were in the top 20 at plus 760. And I was like, this is stupid for them to finish top 20. Bang the bet, and then realized there was 3 other guys in the bet that I didn't realize.
Oh,
Said,
man.
click here to see the other 3. So now I'm in pretty deep on a plus 760 bet. And Justin Rose, our boy we were just talking about, closed 7 under. He was 4 under going into Sunday, closed 7 under, and won me $1,600. So
There you go.
so
Attaboy.
so to
That's
answer
awesome.
your question, I refuse to answer it because I'm happy with what I won. All right, and
Yeah.
and you know how I would answer. You know who I would.
Well,
I'm
way to go
I'm
on
not
that.
picking Goderup.
Had I had a chance to put money on that, Mrs. Byrd would have me living at the YMCA. After the bet, I would have put down that Rory, if he doesn't win, he at least finishes ahead of Goderup. So mad props to him. I'm with you, man. That post round news conference, I don't know that it makes full swing next year, but it should.
It
And what a great,
I
what a
guess they're
great
not.
story.
They not might be in Europe, but
Yeah, a great story, man, and absolutely loved it.
yeah.
So to see him follow it up, that qualified him to even be here this week, and he's hanging around.
Right.
So let's talk about the 3 guys or we'll talk about, each of us will pick somebody that we're really disappointed in. Ando, we'll start with you, brother, because everybody knows it's coming, so we might as well pull the Band-Aid off.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Bryson, what's going on there? It's after the year he had last year, he misses the cut at the US Open. Little confused by that one. Suspected that he would play much better. Then I have the coverage on today. And he was so far out of it so early. I'm going to be honest. He kind of was an afterthought to me until I saw his name, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, Bryson, what's he doing?" And I got to see it just to watch him completely whiff on a ball in the fescue, which
Yeah, I saw that too.
was very. Now listen, I'm not judging you, bud, Bryson. Listen, you whiffed on 1 ball on the fescue today. I probably whiffed on 3 last week. So no, not knocking him there. When that stuff, I don't know what your courses look like out there. My home course here in upstate New York, they intentionally grow out the fescue, and when that ball gets hit, and you're going to whiff sometimes because you just can't even see the ball. It gets buried in that stuff. But still, it was shocking to see Bryson at +7 and play his way out of another major. Probably going to miss both summer major cuts. Very unusual. I
I'll
was
take some
very
action
shocked
on
by
that bet.
Yeah, yeah. Very shocked by that. I mean, you don't know. Hey, listen, he could go 4 under tomorrow, and he could be right back in on the cut line. But
It could
yeah,
be.
I don't
Yeah,
think he's
for
I don't
sure.
think he's contending.
Well, I did notice. Obviously, you saw it too. The most of the lower scores were in the morning,
Yeah,
and there were some guys that got the 4 under after 5, 6, 7 holes, and thought, oh gosh, somebody's going to post a number. So for the lead to be at 4 under means the course obviously got harder. Weather's going to be a factor every day. Um, it's kind of going to depend on when you're out there versus when it's raining.
yeah,
Certainly, but you know, I'm with you, man. I'm not gonna, question why he, botched a shot in the fescue. I'll be playing my rounds about 2 hours south of Portrush all week after next. So I'm sure I'll have quite a few shots in the fescue. I'll come back and tell you guys all about it. But man, just like the cynic in me wants to say this, and I just gotta say it before we move on, or it'll stick in my craw. And when we watch his content, some of us watch his content on YouTube, and he played Oakmont uh, a few days before the U.S. Open started, and he had a no stress round of even par. What was it? 70 was par. What's par at Oakmont? 70.
70. Yep.
Had an even par, no stress. 70. Had some birdies, had some bogeys. Life happens. Walked off the course, and then what wasn't within a country mile of even par during the round. And it's difficult for me to, chalk that up to nerves. I think the man's won 2 U.S. Opens. He's won a lot of different tournaments. He can handle it. And then since the U.S. Open, I know we're just talking about pedestrian courses, but he goes and sets the course record here. He takes a run at breaking 50 there. He and Grant played Mickelson and the other guy from Good.
Garrett. No,
Garrett.
him and Garrett played Grant and Mickelson.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. And did all right for themselves, So he's playing great golf on his channel, and then he comes out here and he's in 108th or whatever he's in right now. I just gotta wonder, man, how much editing is being done on his YouTube channel. I mean, fillet me for that if you want. Oh, what are you talking about? Of course not. But dude, how much editing is being done on that? I mean, he made a certain commander-in-chief look like he was ready for the Champions Tour, and I don't think that was legit either. All I'm saying is the magic of television might be going on that channel, and then when we get to a tournament like the Open, hey man, the lights are a little brighter. It ain't looking so good, man. You told me she looked like Janet Jackson. She looked like Freddie Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I don't know.
I haven't followed enough of it. He is third in live golf standings this year. I think he's won. I think he might have won 1 or 2 tournaments.
At least one, yeah, for sure.
So take with that what you may. But yeah, no, that's a very interesting perspective, and I haven't really thought about that in terms of what's really going on there.
I would tell you to go watch the break 50 that he shot with President Trump at Bedminster, but I would be asking you to watch a YouTube video of an hour and change with the President of the United States on there. And I'm just saying, I'm not going to ask anybody to do that. But they got on the back nine, and the man didn't miss a fairway, didn't miss a shot, raining putts in like he's going out of style. I just don't think so, man. I just don't think so. So anyway,
I mean, that's funny because I was going to say I'm probably going to pass on that offer from you.
Right. Right.
I will say in his defense, the tier of difficulty that the Open has and the courses he's playing, they're just not the same. I mean, he'd probably shoot the course record at our course without
blinking.
He just not use his right hand. He just left hand the whole time.
Yeah. Now that's fair.
The level of course definitely has something to do with it, but I think that it would be more of a detriment to him to be editing and that come out than to him just to play.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I'm probably way off. And the only thing I will say, the only apples to apples data we have is he was able to tame Oakmont with a even round 70, um, and then goes out 4 or 5 days later and did not hit even par or within the area code of even par. So that still could have been a million different reasons why, but it's just
I'll tell you why. Because if you're 5 feet left or you're 5 feet right, you're screwed.
yeah, true enough.
No matter how good you hit that ball on that course, sometimes you're going to be 5 feet left, sometimes you're going to be 5 feet right.
Well, Izzy, who's your guy? We've beaten up on Bryson quite enough.
So I'm going to say Colin Morikawa, and not because I don't believe that he'll turn it around later in the week and maybe post a I think over the course of the tournament he'll break par. I think he'll get in the red, but he's an elite ball striker. He's one of the better. I feel like his skill set,
best ball striker on tour. I mean,
his skill set lends to a good Open. You want to keep the ball low, out of the wind. I just feel like his skill with the irons is what would, like, good iron play is like links, 101. Like, it's like what you need. Tee doesn't really matter. You're not trying to hit the ball far. You're trying to hit it low and straight and have it roll out. That's just kind of how you play those courses. And I think that was a little surprising seeing him at +4.
Former Open champion, right?
He's top 10 on the tour right now.
Royal St. George's, he won.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it was just surprising to see him come out +4. I didn't have the chance to watch today just because I was at work, so I don't know if the +4 was, maybe he missed a couple close ones that it could be +1, and he just had a couple bad putts that just didn't go his way. I mean, I've had that. I'm sure everybody's had that in a round where you lip out 5 times and your 92 could have been an 88 or an 87 or something. So that's my pick. Not necessarily a welfare check, because I think he'll bring it back, but just a surprise at the performance for round 1.
It's a continuing narrative and I hate to say it, but until he breaks through and wins something, period, it's just going to continue to ferment, and the same conversation I think is going to continue. He's far too talented to have not won a golf tournament in 2.5 years or 2 years.
I feel like he's the American Tommy Fleetwood. The skill's there.
Yeah,
right? Interesting comparison there, Byrd.
Close it out.
Interesting. At least lately, I would say
lately.
I would say Ricky Fowler is the America's Tommy Fleetwood, but I get your point.
Ricky Fowler's won though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, so Morikawa's got a couple majors. He got them early. It's been a long drought, but I agree with you. He is one of the best ball strikers out there. Just ask any caddy, and it's
you can ask a couple and they'll know.
So nice segue from Izzy, because my guy is actually Tommy Fleetwood, and I know what you're saying. Hey, he didn't have that bad of a round. He shot 2 over, and that's true. But we were just talking a minute ago. We've got our people that we root for, and damn it to hell, I want Tommy Fleetwood to win a tournament.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, well, which tournament would you want him to win more than any other? Let him win the Open Championship, damn it. Like, I would love to see it. And, we've got, Rory hanging around all day. He's just fine at 1 under. Lowry's at 1 under. Rose is at 2 under. Jordan is there at 3 under. So we've got guys that know European golf, know, golf in the UK and Ireland, and is certainly doing okay. So I expected Fleetwood to do a little better. I was hoping he would do a little better. Can he come back? Absolutely. The problem for me becomes not that he can't recover from 2 over. The problem becomes he's tied for 70th right now. So he's got to leapfrog, 69 other golfers with his scoring. So, is there not one golfer that's ahead of him now that will stay ahead of him for the next 3 days. And I have to think that there's at least one. Not everybody's going to give up 1, 2, 3, as many as 5 strokes to let him get to the top of the leaderboard. Somebody will put it together and keep him, in second, top 5, top 10, whatever he ends up being. So I was hoping that he would get out quicker because I just want to see the man win, and this would be the tournament to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed with that.
Yeah. No, it would certainly be cool, and especially in his home continent to
Exactly.
Bird, I've got a proposition for you.
All right.
I've got a hot dog at our next round.
Okay.
That Akshay Bhatia will outplace Tommy Fleetwood.
I will take that bet. Take that bet. All of that hot dog's going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
I can't wait for it.
I want photo evidence of this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will wait for that hot dog with anticipation. There is no way my man Fleetwood is going to let Bhatia outperform him here. No way.
No.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, they're even with each other now. We'll see what happens.
They had the exact same score too. 2 birdies, 4 bogeys.
We'll see, man. So let's close this thing out. Maybe talk about what are you looking forward to in your personal games.
Well, I did have one more thing I wanted to touch on regarding the Open before we do that.
Do it.
I think it's a good topic for us to spend a few minutes here. With Scottie Scheffler's comments earlier in the week.
Okay, I'm all about it.
Yeah, this is and Izzy, I don't know how much you read into it, but I've got some pretty hot takes on this. And I'll be honest with you, I love Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah,
I think Scottie Scheffler is one of the nicest guys in golf. Obviously, the best golfer in the world, but I think that's what the beauty of what he said was the perspective on how you want to interpret it. And I'll be honest that I lost maybe a little bit of respect for Scottie Scheffler. I don't even know if respect's the right word, but it pissed me off, okay? Because a lot of the way that I felt that his message was presented was like, assuming that everyone can just have an opportunity to be the number one golfer in the world and be the best golfer in the world. And that if you spend enough time doing something, this is what your outcome is going to be. So it's not fulfilling because you spent the time and then you got there and then it's only there for 2 minutes. Like, now, obviously I think it's pretty safe to say at this point, me being, over 40 years old, my chances of being the number one golfer in the world have probably passed me, unfortunately. I hate to say it. I'm announcing it publicly for the first time here tonight on Apple Podcasts and YouTube that I'm no longer going to be in contention for the number one golfer in the world. But just some of those comments I kind of felt were a little bit grating, where it was almost like, feel bad for me. No, I'm not going to feel bad for you. And if you don't think that this is fulfilling, you're as a man, you have the right to do it. You can go. Like, it's going to be a hot topic for a month, and people are going to be like, oh my God. And you know what, Scottie Scheffler, 5 months from now, the way that news cycles work and the way that the internet and everything is, you're going to be a forgotten man. I'm sorry to say it. Someone else is going to step in, and maybe occasionally let's say, well, maybe Scottie Scheffler will come back. But there was some assumption of grandiose there, where I think that you think you're a lot more important, and that you're boohooing yourself because you're saying that this isn't what you want to be judged by in your life. No one's making you do that. I'm going to open it up there, and I'll pop in if I have anything else to add. But I was a little perturbed at what I heard coming from Scottie this week. I'm not going to lie.
Izzy, I've got a lot to say about this, man. So take it away. I'll circle back.
Okay. I can see how that it would come across that way to you, Ando, and I can see how you would perceive that negatively. I don't necessarily think I saw or heard what he said and felt the same way in terms of. I did see it felt like he was downplaying the sport a little bit, but I think what his message, and maybe he presented it badly. I mean, he did it live off the cuff. Someone asked him a question and he just responded right there. Didn't really have time to think too much about it. Though he did say he thinks
That's his job. If you can't, then
Yeah.
don't comment on it until you take time to think about it.
Well, I think what his message was, what he was trying to say was that golf is my job, but it's not the most fulfilling thing in my life. I find more joy and value in my family and in my kids and in relationships, and I get that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're working as hard as you're working to be, and I promise you, he's working hard to be that person, to be the world number one, or he's got it and everyone else doesn't. It did seem like you're like, oh, it's kind of hard to root for you because it doesn't seem like win or lose, you don't give a fuck. Like it took away my interest in rooting for him. I'll put it that way. I respect him as a man and as a father and as a person who has relationships and friendships, because the level of I mean, he's mentioned it multiple times, a lot of times in interviews, that's his main focus in life. And I'm like, all power to you, man. Like, I think that's awesome. But it took away almost any desire I had to go, I want Scottie to win a tournament. I've mentioned it a few times. I've said I want him to win. I think it'd be awesome. I think it's a great storyline. He's the best golfer in the world. Let's go. I'm like, someone else wants this more than you do. And maybe right now you're doing really good, and that's great. But somebody else wants it more than you, and I want that person to win.
Yeah. And to say that you don't want to be somebody that they aspire to be, I really did not like that comment at all, because if you want to take it away from golf and put it towards what he's really big into is his faith, well, I think that he wants to be a role model for somebody in what he believes is living a faithful life. So it's okay to be a role model for that, but then here I don't want to be a role model. I thought that was a little ridiculous, and I just also the only other comment I want to add before you jump in, Bird, is that I could never ever see Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Hank Aaron, the list goes on. Those guys with killer mentalities that say, yeah, you know what, I don't really care. That right there made me feel like, when is the Scottie train over? How many is it? Is it another $10 million check? And then he's like, yeah, I'm checked out. Is it, maybe another year? And then it's like, yeah, I'm good. That told me right there, like, if you don't care, then you're never going to be one of the greatest there ever was. So what do you think, Bert?
I will say, guys, I didn't feel about what he said either of the ways that y'all just presented it until I listened to you present it. And I'm like, damn, y'all are right. Y'all 100% right, in my opinion. And I'll keep it fairly quick, man, because I don't have a whole lot to add. But, when I listened to it, I heard a man who was clearly thinking about his wife and his son and his faith. Maybe he's already thinking about the future kids that are coming, and that's where, life is meaningful to him. And that's great. He talks about his wife, and the last interview I saw him talking about her, he could not get through the interview without tearing up, explaining how important she is to him. And I will tell you guys, I love my wife. Yeah. And on some days I can tell you how much I love her, and on other days I will tear up trying to tell you how much I love her. So I get it, and that part, man, I am all for it, and I'm impressed by Scottie about that. But where I
want to be on the record saying I love my wife too, in case she happens to watch this.
Anyway, man, I know you do, brother. And anyway, but what I would have said before y'all spoke was he's an enigma. It's like sometimes you think it's important to him, and winning these tournaments and legacy and FedEx Cups and majors and everything, and obviously the work that he puts in it must mean something to him. And then other times he talks and you're like, oh, that's right. Like he doesn't really care. So it's really difficult. And what I would have said before, if I would have gone first, what I would have said is at the end of the day, he's a 29-year-old man. And at 29, I couldn't always be counted on to say exactly what I was thinking and say it in a meaningful way. So I'll chalk a little bit of it up to him being 29 and they caught him with a question. And what kind of mood was he in today? What was he all about the golf? Was he excited to be at the Open, or was he tired and just wanted to be home? And did he and Meredith have a plan for after this week, and they're going to go do something fun, and he's thinking about that, and that's why he answered the question the way he did. All that's possible, but I was fortunate that I was young and plugged in to all sports, which I'm not anymore, when Michael Jordan was in his heyday, and I loved MJ. And even though I'm a Red Sox fan and it pains me to say it, man, I love Derek Jeter. And Kobe, the Mamba, I got there a little late to the Kobe train, but man, Kobe Bryant is aces. And as a Steelers fan, public enemy number one for a decade plus was Tom Brady because he wanted it more than my quarterback did. And that's why my quarterback got two and said, I'm good, and got a little pudgy and a little soft and a little whiny. And Brady just kept cranking out Super Bowls. And he would say, oh, the most important one to me, it's easy. It's the next one. So I appreciate that mentality. And I've lived my life in my career, as pedestrian as my career is, trying to be the best at it. And to hear him say, if I win, I win. If not, on to the next. I agree with you fellas. Like, that kind of put out by that now that I think about it. It's like, well, I would rather root for a JJ Spawn who said, I didn't think I was going to get to keep playing until I got my health taken care of. And then I still almost quit last year until I watched a movie on a plane. And I was like, maybe I need to take another run at it. And he damn near wins the Players and he wins the U.S. Open, right? So that's because he wants to win, and we could name a half a dozen other guys out there that winning is what puts breath into their lungs. And you said it exactly right. That's who I want to root for. If I don't want to root for the reluctant champion just because, by some miracle, you're good at golf. I want to be there when somebody, hugs that trophy and they're like, finally, I did it. And I bet you for that person, it lasts a little bit longer than 2 minutes. Sure did for Bryson at Pinehurst, right? Lasted a little longer than 2 minutes for him, So, it's unfortunate. And I think you're spot on, Izzy. Or Ando, I'm sorry, whoever said, it tells me that the sun will set on this career. One more FedEx Cup or, a couple more majors and something's going to click in that brain. He's going to say, it's good. Maybe until it's not, and then it'll be too late, right? You don't just turn it back on. Ask Jordan Spieth. It doesn't stay around forever. So, it was a ho-hum comment that I'm a lot more negative about after your wisdom got dropped, for sure.
I appreciated the family wisdom about it, but the lack of just, I mean, when I compete in anything, I'm in it. Like I love competing. It's the most I love it. And it just makes it impossible for me to root for somebody who
doesn't. One thing I will agree with is a former member and friend of the collective, Zach Green, did say, if you want to be able to continue to play golf every weekend unencumbered from your family, make sure your wife does not have access to that video from that news conference, because once your wife sees that, you will not be playing golf every weekend any longer.
Fair. That's fair. That is wisdom for sure. So We'll see what happens.
I got a little something to send us off. I got up briefly during the podcast. I had to step outside. I had a long day, so I Uber Eats some food.
Attaboy.
And it got a ding on my phone that it was here. And I stepped outside of my room, and there was no food. And I looked at the picture, and it's at the same. It's on a different floor. So I go, all right, I got to run out, go to the elevator, go up to the floor, go. I go to that room, and the food's gone.
Oh, no.
Okay. So maybe the person took it. Then I said, no, wait a second. And I went and I looked, and
Different hotel.
I was at a different hotel last week, and I never updated it. So I just sent some
You
food to
just
somebody.
sent someone some free food.
Yeah, so good for them. Happy for them.
Oh,
But
oh.
I was like, no.
We gotta end this show so Izzy can go eat, man.
Well,
Everybody's starving, brother.
well,
So-
before we go, in my true fashion that I said before, I want to continue things we didn't get a chance to talk about. We didn't get a chance to talk about the fart caught on microphone at the Open today. I enjoyed that moment. I thought that was hilarious. So you guys should look that up. Shane Gillis's SB's appearance last night. Listen, love the guy. I've never done a more 180 on or 360 or 180, I guess it would be, on a comedian than I have. I don't know. I liked a lot of those jokes. WNBA All-Star Game is this week. For all you guys, there's a funny WNBA joke that Shane Gillis dropped last night.
So
And Stick on Apple TV. If you haven't watched Stick, go watch Stick. It's a great.
I need to watch that. Yeah,
it is next up. We got caught watching Friends and Neighbors. John Hamm
Just finished it.
Golf.
Just
But
finished.
on. Watch. I mean, I don't like binging stuff. I like savoring it from episode to episode. We finished that in about 6 days, which is a world record around here. Great show. Can't wait for season 2.
Hated the last episode though. Hated it. But anyway.
Yeah. Do you want him to go? I won't say anything. We'll talk about it later.
Talk about it later.
No spoilers. Anyway, Stick is next up. Can't wait for that. I just got to hear real quick. I know what Izzy's answer to this is, probably Portugal. But what rounds are you looking forward to coming up? And you can say any, and it'd be cool.
Yeah, Priya Del Rey for me. I mean, that's the only one I have in the next month. I'll probably be playing it in about 25 days. And I'm going to play 2 rounds, one a day. I'm going to play one day with my wife, and then the next day she's going to do some other stuff while I play again. So that's mine.
Well, try to record one so we can see it and live vicariously through you. Ando, what's coming up in your world, man? You're playing some golf.
August 1st, I think it is. 1st and 2nd, I got my member guest at my spot, and there's an outside chance in September, Tim. Byrd, sorry, hate to do it to you here, but might be headed down to a course that I know you're dying to play in South Carolina. So I'm hoping that.
Wow, and you need me to go with you.
Yeah,
I accept.
but
I accept.
Unfortunately, like my dad told me when I asked him if I was going to get the Masters invite up, I got it. He said, "No fucking way."
Yeah. Yeah. You might get a chance to play Bulls Bay.
Yeah, I might get a chance to play there. It's looking like it could happen.
Can't wait to hear about that. Well, I've got 4 rounds scheduled in Ireland. The 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. And for good measure, on the 1st of August, we're playing Doolin's Pitch and Putt out by the Cliffs of Moher. If you don't know, YouTube, no laying up. They were at Doolin Pitch and Putt. It's going to be a rocking good time there for an hour or so. So I'll make sure that I have the Pocket 3 with me, and I'll get some good footage of that as well and share it with you fellas. And maybe the collective will get together at some point down the road.
It's the hope.
I think it's in the works.
We got a couple Strands courses here in Virginia that needs the collective treatment. So we'll see what happens with that.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
All right, gentlemen.
Fellas, until we meet again.
See you guys on the next one, everybody. Like, subscribe, tell your friends and family about it. We appreciate you guys watching. We're doing this for fun, and we'd like to keep doing it. So
yeah, one day we might be good at it. Who knows? See you, everybody.
All right. See you next time.